Greetings and Chatelet, everyone. This is going to be a review on the relatively new Pioneer HDJ X10C X-Ray 10 Charlie. This is a DJ headphone. And the standard version, the X10, came out a few months ago or 6 months ago at $350. This is a special edition in carbon fiber and gold trim, $600. $250 more for the same headphones. Some people say it's the same, except for the cosmetics. I'm going to add one suggestion, but don't quote me on it because I don't have any information. Just my guess is probably they did some hand selecting on some of the components to make sure that they got the best samples that they could get for their special edition. That's what I would do. Can't say that's what they would do, but just a guess. Got this from Sweetwater in Fort Wayne, Indiana. My salesman, Jeff Allen, so be sure to run out there and buy some of their stuff. Mostly they sell, for musicians and so on, and this is a monitoring or DJ headphone. So, one thing to know about this site you're looking at on Google, YouTube, is that YouTube and Google decided to screw me on my comments back a few years ago, and so I had to delete everything and start over, and that's why there's no comments on this channel. But everybody that knows me knows where to get a hold of me on the website with my name, so if you have any questions you can just ask them right there. So let's see, one of the things I want to talk about is how do I judge the sound of one of these things, on what basis. And the basis is I have had a couple hundred headphones, so I have quite a few, and how they sound collectively, the best ones, the flagship headphones, generally define what hi-fi sound is. The other main check against that would be listening to live music. And in fact, walking around town, a lot of times I'll take my headphone off and notice how much more life and sparkle there is in the environment than what I'm listening to on my music player. And I tell people about that, and they say, well, trouble in the environment is overrated, and I guess they're making a joke, but really I think a lot of this portable hi-fi gear today is tuned down to sound less offensive to people, turn the treble down, particularly in the presence range. These things don't seem to have any problem up around 9-10 kilohertz or so, but down around 4 to 6, a lot of these are very recessed. So far in my preliminary testing here, I'm going to say this has probably at least a 6 decibel recess in the presence area there. So, if you're just used to playing things loud, maybe that'll be okay. Or you might, if you're listening hi-fi stuff, nighttime, where it's real quiet, it might sound dull that way. I don't, kind of depends on what you like and what you listen to. But in strictly hi-fi terms, compared to live music, I'd say it's recessed that much in the presence region, maybe even more than 6. So, thing about almost all headphones I've had is the variation from hi-fi is pretty easily fixed with EQ, particularly the parametric equalizers. So, anyway, people will tell you something about everybody hears differently. Bullcrap. When you and I sit down at a live music event together, we hear exactly the same thing. So if you hear something different at home, and what I hear at home sounds the same as a live event, you're getting something different, not me. So that's to me, that's the ideal, is to have your home system sound like live music. But if you can't do that, or you don't want to do that because you want to tune it to sound like something different, it's your choice. But I'm just kind of explaining a perspective on hi-fi here, because if I can describe neutrality in some respect, then different people can relate to it, because it becomes a kind of a standard of reference. So anyway, let's see what we have. Oh, there was a lot of talk in here about DSPs, meaning digital signal processors. You have all these spatial things and all these other things they're putting in amps nowadays to make it sound, quote, less like a headphone and more like a live music experience, out of the head and all that sort of thing. And he'll talk about HRTF and all those other things. Again, I think almost all that's nonsense. because if your headphone is equalized properly to sound like live music, it's going to sound really great, and it's not going to be irritating. That's what I think. So once we get past frequency response, which also affects other things in tonality and and even phase, once we get past that, then we have to be concerned about the quality of the machine here, the headphone and its drivers, whether it's going to distort on music, especially on drum hits and deep bass and all that sort of thing, or on extreme treble sounds like triangles and glockenspiels and all that sort of thing that make really extreme treble noises. I'm still doing some breaking in here, but I would say so far this sounds really, really clean. And considering the price and the quality of the drivers, probably makes sense. So, let's see here. Music, blah, blah, blah. Reflections. One of the interesting headphones I had was the Focal Clear. No, not the Clear, but the Ear. But I think some of the other ones follow the same pattern as an unusually open design that has almost no reflections in ear cups. So we're 2 steps away from that, or 2 orders of magnitude, because this is a closed headphone. Now, wearing glasses, I didn't get a really great seal out here in the park, but if you take your glasses off and everything else, you get a fairly good seal with this. The ear pads are kind of a, I guess a kind of a pea leather is what I would call it. They have different names for them, but it's good quality pea leather, and it's made to be extra high quality, I guess, or something, so that it'll just repel sweat or something like that. You could get sweat here in these ear cups, I think, pretty easy. It might get warm, especially indoors, especially in a disco or whatever. So, let's see what else we got here. Might be able to just get right into the headphone. I'm not going to do a lot on the specs because everybody knows all that stuff already. It's been out for a couple months, and a million people got to introducing the new, Pioneer headphone, custom edition. So let's see. And a lot of the people out there that are reporting on these things, of course, are sites that carry heavy advertising and all that sort of thing. You know who they are, the big headphone sites. And you can't trust them for 1 second about anything. And besides which, if you read a review, it's followed by 75 pages of useless chat. So there are some places you can go and, kind of get right into it, unless they start talking about all sorts of esoteric concepts and really don't tell you how it sounds compared to the next guy. So anyway, I would say if you have a lot of headphones or you have enough experience with these things, you know the differences. And this here, I would say, it's definitely a DJ headphone, and it, of course, with these joints here, like we see, we can flip our headpiece out of the way while we're. Want to do this? Yeah, I did it a little while ago. I don't want to break the thing, but anyway, the ear cup will turn that way so you can, get it out of your way, and then of course these things fold flat, so you can. Wear it around your neck all day with the ear cups pulled down, and it won't bother you at all. And we have let's see if I can show this here, a mini XLR connector here. All right, I think that's what that's called, pretty sure. And on the other end, they default to a gold-plated mini plug with a threaded attachment. I generally avoid these threads because they sometimes have a loose connection, and so I usually put just put one of those snap-on 1/4-inch adapters if I need that. 6.35 millimeter, I think it is. The cable is a pretty substantial fabric. I forget what they call it, like a Kevlar or something. It may not be the exact name, but it's what it is, and it's goes in here is about 5.5 feet long. Pretty good for portable use, hi-fi use, home use. The carry case, real nice carry case of this. And I don't know if they have that with the standard edition, but they have with the custom edition. A little bit of gold printing on there. A little bit of gold printing on the zipper right here. It says Pioneer. And Really nice case. You know, the headphone goes in here. You can see where the ear cups go on, and then a little band over there covers it up so it won't fall out. And we're going to pause here for just a second. No, we're not, because that was a spam call. Okay, so like I said, nice leather covered hard case here, and it's kind of flat, so with ear cups folded flat, it's fairly compact. I think this is too big for a backpack, but if you don't mind taking up a little bit of room in your luggage, it might work okay for that. So overall, it's pretty comfortable, but you know, you got to wiggle around on your head a little bit to get a nice comfy fit. And you can see the carbon fiber in here and all that. But I don't know, it weighs about a pound, I guess, 400 grams, maybe something like that. And it's got good range of adjustment here. I wear it somewhere about halfway, which is a real good sign. It's made for a really good variety of head sizes. And okay, like I said, get it on your head and it's pretty comfy. It's got a nice, very nice padding on the headband right here. So good DJ headphone, $600 special edition. Not sure what else to say about this. I think I've pretty well covered everything. I like it. I like it a lot. But eventually you'll be able to see on my website and everything else the final EQ curve I publish for it once I get it fully broken in. So there we have it. Pioneer HDJ X10C X-Ray 10 Charlie. This is the carbon fiber edition with the gold trim. Thank you very much.